So when Jim and Jay came in today, they were searching for words to describe me. I think the words they were looking for is ruddy and ruby. But Jim said pretty and pink. So yes, we have the ruby, or the pink vestment, this fourth Sunday of Lent, Laetare Sunday, we are celebrating today. Last night in the sacristy before Mass, the lector and I were talking, and she was sharing with me that she was just singing all day long. She had found an old CD of music from the 90s, a favorite local band, and she was listening to that music and she was singing along all day. And I said, well, that's interesting, because all week preparing for this homily, I've been singing because the music I was singing was from a musical that I sang when I was in graduate school at the St. Paul Seminary School of Divinity of the University of St. Thomas, all in one breath. Thank you. We commissioned a piece. The seminary commissioned a piece, and it was called Lumen Christi. The author of that music wrote this piece centered on the three readings that we hear in the third and the fourth and fifth Sundays of Lent that goes along with the RCIA program. So we have Joseph and Philip preparing to join us at the Easter Vigil, to come into full communion and to be baptized and confirmed and First Communion with us at the Easter Vigil. And so when you celebrate, when you have that going on in your parish, then the rite suggests that you use cycle A readings in these 3 weekends in a row. So we have the Samaritan woman at the well, the man born blind, and the raising of Lazarus, which we'll hear next week. And so that musical was centered around these three very powerful stories in Scripture. It's actually, there was written in there was 4 male solo parts to that, and I think there was 4 female solo parts as well. It was interesting because the time when I was up there, 3 of those 4 solo parts were taken by seminarians from the Archdiocese of Omaha. Yeah, we can all pat our back on that one, can't we? That's right. So there was the part of the blind man. I didn't get that part. That was Rodney Adams. And there was the part of Jesus, really big part. I didn't get that part either. That was Father Dave Belt. And there was the part of the narrator, who also played the part of the Pharisee. I didn't get that part either. But I did get one of the solo parts. This huge part, the parent of the man born blind. Such an amazing part that last night during the 5 o'clock Mass, because we had a Creighton Blue Jays friendly Mass, you know what I mean? All right, we did the short version, okay, so that we could get out and watch that debacle. But that part was cut from that reading, okay? That's how important that part was. So I was just found myself singing all week the part. So the Pharisee comes and says, "Is this your son?" Yes. See, because I was afraid, right? "Was he born blind?" Yes. I played the part beautifully. I still got it, don't I? Right? Whoa, hold on. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. So, and then he says, "How is it that he now sees?" And then me and my wife at that point, it's just for a play. Okay, so we both in unison say, We have no idea. You must ask him. He is old enough to speak for himself. We have no idea. We have no idea. None. There you go. The entirety. The entirety. Yeah, so good luck getting that out of your head this week. I don't know if you can unhear that. But this reading, just like last week's Samaritan woman at the well, we had that story of coming to faith, didn't we? And now this week we have this powerful reminder that we are all called continually, not just in Lent, but in Lent we get that major reminder that we're called to recognize where the blind spots of our life have come in, have entered into our lives. So we are inviting our elect, those who are coming to get ready to enter into full communion with us, to get in touch with the areas of sin in their life, right? Those things where they've been clouded in their vision, in seeing where those things come into our lives. But it's a reminder for all of us, right? To recognize that the evil one, he definitely tries to get us to get off track, to not realize how we're being fooled and how we're fooling ourselves. We're called to remove the blind spots from our lives. So that is what we're invited to. We're invited ourselves to allow God's healing touch to come upon us, to open our vision so that we can see more clearly. In our second reading from St. Paul, he gives us this image of coming to the light. We know that when there is darkness, it is really tough to see. And one of the images that we will be given once again at the Easter Vigil is the light of Christ. The Easter candle will be lit from an Easter fire, and we'll be able to have all the other lights out, and we'll see that light just dispels darkness. We are called into that light as well. It's easy to see sometimes out there where the darkness wants to come in and block out the light, right? We can recognize out there where the injustices exist. Sometimes it can be harder for us to realize where it's taking place in us, where the implicit and explicit biases reside in us. And that's what we're called to. We're called to be in touch with that, to invite God to shed his light in those areas of darkness in our lives. So that once we get in touch, once we become aware, we are called to action. We are called to see how we can make things more just for everyone. We are all brothers and sisters in the Lord. There are still things that keep that from being lived out in actuality. Let us get in touch. And let us continually strive to see those things in our own lives, those things that have been hidden from us, that have been in the blind spots, that have been in the shadows. Let us bring Christ's light to bear on all that needs being brought to the light.